as the new year brings endless possibilities for sucking even more than the last one. Watch as a game pushes new technology to its very limits and f***s the bed so thoroughly that they needed to burn the mattress and the house along with it. Cyberpunk 2077. Experience the most anticipated game since Cup and Ball 2, as CD Projekt Red cashes in on the goodwill they earned with The Witcher 3, to firing up an insane 8-year-long hype machine of trailers, marketing, and celebrity cameos.
You're breathtaking!
All selling you the idea that this game would change your life. And apparently that's pretty much all they were doing. Because what actually came out was a half-baked Deus Ex GTA mashup that still delivered the realism of living in a dystopia. Not cool, not fun, and everything's broken. Discover one of the most cursed launches in gaming history as Cyberpunk comes out in a Y2K-style disaster despite repeated delays. With more bugs in every nook and cranny than a sequel to SimAnt. From the open world, to the UI, to the goddamn character creation screen. To the point where you can't take the story seriously because every cutscene showcases a brand new horrifying glitch. And that's assuming you have a system powerful enough to run it. As last-gen console owners are punished for being poor, with a game that runs like Red Dead 2 on an Engage, in a release so catastrophic that if it were an animal, it would be more humane to shoot it just to put it out of its misery, which basically happened. Okay, wow, you know it's bad when you're pulled from the same stores that still sell WWE 2K20. Explore the depraved metropolis of Night City, an impressive-looking open world full of neon lights, monolithic skyscrapers, and colorful denizens that warp in and out of existence without a moment's notice, where you'll quickly learn to ignore everything except your next waypoint. Plus, there's nothing to interact with other than shops. Or you can do the extremely cyberpunk thing of helping the police? Until you stumble into one of the side quests they actually worked on.
I killed Tiger Crow boss on purpose. World best surgeon, make no mistake.
That will have you exploring the meaning of identity, God, and consciousness. All while beating people to death with a giant dildo. In an open world that actually has some good flavor, buried under a ton of bull that it seems like they threw in at the last minute to make their game feel less empty. You know, there's nothing more cyberpunk than driving your employees like slaves to make more money than God off a broken open world game. I wonder if they use laser whips on them. Sink your teeth into the real meat of 2077, the storyline, where glimpses of the masterpiece this could have been occasionally peek out of the glitch-ridden haze as you jack into the eyes of V and choose from a handful of backstories that don't matter after like the first hour, then end up as a street thug anyway, who's in trouble with a big corporation after botching a job that ends up with you slamming Keanu Reeves into your head, which is a lot less cool than it sounds, and also is killing you, forcing you to buddy cop with him through all manner of Blade Runner-y nonsense, and eventually join him on his quest to stick it to the man, in a narrative that's overtly anti-capitalist, despite being an extremely corporate AAA game, basically Rage Against the Machine of gaming.
Minus the charisma. An impressive
but that still occasionally delivers a cerebral experience that shows off what we loved about CD Projekt games in the first place. In between the levitating, T-posing, and every fixer in the game trying to sell me their used Honda Civic, the only reason to drive anywhere is to hope the physics glitch out and fire me into the sun. Get ready to cyber a whole bunch of punks as you blast your foes away with homing bullets, shoot them through walls, or just tear them apart with your bare cyber hands, with competent shooting that's surprisingly boring for a game about the techno future, melee that's just floaty garbage, and a hacking system that lets you kill everyone in a room just by looking at them, in combat that's insanely easy as long as you never wander away from where the game thinks you should be, but that's satisfying enough when you've got the techno pumping and you've got deviants to shoot. That poor soul got assigned to review Cyberpunk on PS4. What a shame. So choose those custom genitals and gather your tunes for one of the most botched and polarizing launches since No Man's Sky. That, much like No Man's Sky, might turn out to be a really good game if you give them several years to unf it. And until then, well, at least we have some of the most hilarious glitches of all time. I mean, how can you stay mad at that? Starring V for Vendetta, Kiss Your Homies Goodnight, Joy, CeeLo Green, Hattori Hanzo, Apple Bottom Jeans, Girl with the tattoos, Cyber Cougar Town, Robocock, and Johnny Mnemonic. Daikatana 2077. You know the most unrealistic part of this game is that there's no way someone doesn't have a crotch gun.